Welcome to another episode of Tequila Talk Compadres. This is Eric, the engineer.
Hey, Faluma over here, Felipe. What?
And the beast from the east, Eddie D.
Oh yeah, you are in the east.
I am the east side now. Fuck it.
So we're here broadcasting from Dallas with a little remote in from Jacksonville. And the tequila of this week is Lunazul Blanco. This is a tequila that's actually made by the Beckman family. Doesn't sound very tequila-ish, but it's pretty good. I like that. I've tried it before. They're reasonably priced. You know, this one's like $20. This says it's from it's made from 100% blue agave. That's good. It's made in Mexico and imported to Bradstone, Kentucky. Kentucky. So hey, let's give it a shot.
All right.
Give it a shot. Bottoms.
Hey,
remember?
okay, bottoms, right? Because if
boom.
you go tops, that's how you get COVID, and that's why Tony's sick.
So to me, it's pretty smooth.
It's smooth because you're already drinking like melted ice tequila.
I had it before though. And it's
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh,
Because
you
No, I'm saying
I thought you just opened
It
it.
is pretty smooth. I'm not a tequila drinker, but this is a pretty smooth tequila. It's almost as good as that the one we tried. What was it? Dulce Vida or the?
yeah.
It's pretty smooth. It goes down pretty well.
Yeah.
Centenario was the last one there. I think the one before that. I think
Yeah.
Centenario was very smooth as well.
Which one? Oh, which one?
Centenario.
Centenario? Yes, Centenario was really smooth too. Yes, Centenario. It's along the lines of Centenario and Dulce Vida. So it is a smooth tequila. It does no aftertaste. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, are you drinking it with ice? Because for some reason,
No, sir. No ice. Just straight.
the engineer over here poured the shots into little cups with ice. And it's like the first time I ever drank tequila with ice. But honestly, it fucking multiplies the drinkability of it.
Yeah.
Right?
It tastes pretty good with ice, right?
It tastes awesome with ice.
It's just, every time you come over, I never have ice. So today I had some ice.
Oh, it's fucking fan. Is Papa Juan Pablo gonna show up too?
Yeah. So hey,
God.
you know, actually today too, I went running in 106-degree weather, so I'm kind of dehydrated. So I need.
Wait, how hot is it over there?
106.
It's 106.
You know, without the heat index. With the heat index, probably like 110.
He's
111.
running around fucking Cedar Hills, right?
Of like the nature preserve trails, and yeah, it kicked my ass today. So
No
I need
bueno.
hydration.
I'm surprised you're still standing, man.
Almost did it. But let's go on to our first topic. First topic of the day. Tejano. You remember Tejano?
I remember.
You listen to Tejano?
I still listen to Tejano.
Tejano music, you know, it was really popping back in the 90s in Texas especially.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if really how far nationwide it went, because I know in California, I never heard of Tejano.
Does
Nothing until I came here.
anybody remember Selena?
Well, that one's probably made it nationwide, right? I mean,
I think
South.
she made.
Yeah.
What
They brought-
nationwide? I mean,
J-Lo made
you
a
were in
movie
California for a while.
about
Did
this
you hear
bitch.
about her when you were in
Like in
California?
California, I never heard any Tejano until I came here. Like, I mean, they had some rancheras and stuff, but you know, again, I was with my Salvadoran family in California, so that's probably that way too. I wasn't with the Mexican family.
They don't, yeah, Salvadorians don't dig the Tejano as much as
Or the rancheras and all that.
The second generation or first generation.
Because even Mexicans don't really jam Tejano either, man. Like,
It's
I
awesome.
know Mexicans, yeah, they're
Real
kind of
Mexicans
against it.
don't.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about still super wet Mexicans. They're not going to be jamming Tejano.
Yeah.
They're going to be jamming Bronco. And they're the first ones to tell you, hey, that's not Tejano. That's norteño.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, like, norteño is really like I mean,
Or is it banda?
it's a valley thing. It's more like a San Antonio down south to the
That's
border.
North Mexico type of thing.
But honestly, have you or anybody heard any new Tejano?
I've heard it like a couple years ago. There was this band that came out with some stuff, but it's dying away. I think it's dying
I
out.
think Little Joe. Or is
No,
it,
what's that guy's name, man? Actually, he came out with a couple good songs, and it was this chick. I can't remember the name of them, but
Oh, that's how relevant they
yeah.
are.
But it's been like at least a couple years.
Because the only one that I think kind of there's two artists that I think kind of like what you call it, like blur the lines is Intocable. Even though I personally think they're norteño, I don't think they're Tejano, but a lot of the people here
That's
think it's
banda.
Tejano.
Nah, I think it's like more norteño to me. Yeah, because it's like
I mean,
norteño has that certain rhythm.
they're U.S. born. They're from Texas.
Yeah, but I think the style of play, like I know some norteña bands
Are they?
because like like
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah, though I think they're playing they're playing Mexican music. They're
Yeah.
not playing Tejano.
they're not. I think it's norteña.
But,
I don't think.
like you know who else also? Fito Olivares. He's also a Tejano. He's not Mexican.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, but see, like there's certain like even bands now. I know like what was it like La Maquinaria Norteña or something like that. They play real norteña. Even their band name is norteña, but they're from here. They're born here. They just play norteña music. So I don't think it's so much where you're born. I think it's the style of the music they play. But norteña has a different rhythm style. They have more like, and to me like a lot of norteña music sounds the same. It's just like there's different singers. Like they have the same kind of style. They vary it with like with the saxophone. I love the saxophone.
Fucking synthesizer. It's
And
what
the synthesizers are, but they play a lot of saxophone. And in Tejano, they have this different sound to it. And you can tell, oh, this is Tejano. You know?
And it's lasers.
Oh, that's so, you know what? I think the guys supposed to like carry over the culture, like Mike Little Jr. and like I guess maybe even I'm not sure even what the Cumbia King's feeling because those are more also like cumbia. They're not even really Tejano.
That's not
people.
Tejano, man.
Tejano.
They were doing more of a cumbia thing.
They're doing more cumbia.
Yeah,
Selena
so-
wasn't really Tejano. Yeah.
And then Miro Navarra passed away, so that was like the only other guy that I feel like had like a strong like grab on people as far as music. But as far as like Tejano, I mean,
That's
shit, I
it's a
think they'd be
musical.
good.
It is a musical bubble.
Yeah.
Just like the same way how like doo-wop was in the fucking 50s. You
Who?
know? Like the genre doo-wop. You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like, oh shit, they got doo-wop, and then people are doing like, everybody in the Dinos and all that bullshit.
It's like disco music.
Baby, mwah, mwah. And then you're like, okay, and then some fucking dude with a guitar is like, I'm gonna fucking do rock and roll with this. So he just picked it up and kept it going. And I think that's what they're doing now with, that's what they did with Tejano. It was a bubble, and nobody kept it going, man.
Nobody.
No, there's no artists that kept it going. I mean, think about it. Relevant artists.
Yeah, like
No.
Jay Perez or like who? Like I don't even know. Like there's this other band they tried. I mean, they've done various of it. I think the problem is like when you don't reinvent that style to something new, then you don't really catch on. And then I think sometimes the fame of the music or the song that they played, it gets so famous to a point where they don't want to really hear anything else. It becomes like kind of like wedding music, quinceañera music. Like cumbia, this not really coming out with new hits. They always play the same songs all the time.
Let's look it up. Let's see if Tejano has new shit. I'll go to Spotify right now.
Yeah, so like I think it has the same issue like with cumbia and like Tejano and certain songs that they're so famous that they basically always play it all the time. And there's
I'm not sure, man, because cumbia is still pretty popular in Colombia, like Mexico, like Monterrey. I mean, cumbia is still pretty much a big deal.
Oh yeah, Mexico.
I just think like as far as the new generation, depending on the city that you live in, there's an influx of like now, like trap music and reggaeton hit it pretty big with artists like Bad Bunny and Ozuna and some of those guys. So, but I think regionally, like every country kind of still has, like, I know cumbia, there's some new cumbia stuff that's out there, but it's not as popular because the music is not, like the radio stations are not as popular or...
I guess it doesn't get mainstream.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, check this out, okay?
Mainstream.
This is from the Houston Press, right? And this is from 2012. And it says, the Houston radio airwaves no longer carry the format, with the FM stations... KQQK, Tejano 106.5, and Super Tejano 108.5 gone for more than a decade.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that just goes to show you, man. Like, people aren't even listening. They don't have Tejano radio stations that are just playing Tejano.
I mean, they're more like... But I think cumbia is coming back in popularity. Like, even the stations now, they're starting to play it more. And then they got the cumbia trap now and all that.
Cumbia trap is the best.
Yeah,
I love cumbia trap.
But that's...
But the two big artists, like the cumbia guys, I mean, they're dead. Well, Celso Piña and Aniceto Robles. I mean, those are the guys that you knew were like cumbia. You associated with them, they're gone.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. I think that you have to always reinvent that style of music or it dies. And, with cumbia, they had like, that guy, that was a popular song with that... Ray Mix, whatever that guy would name, like that little cumbia song he had. He had a little bit. No, it's the Ray Mix or something like that.
Yeah, Ray Mix. That's his name, remix. The one we do with Juan is the Oye Mujer.
Yeah, Oye Mujer and all that. So like you gotta.
El Dusty?
No, that's a different one. That's a different one. Nah, if you hear the song, I know you know it, but that's why you always gotta reinvent your music. It's like disco, disco in the 70s was popping, but it died in the 80s. So like some music, it just dies, I think that Tejanos was one of those. It's like Duranguense. That lasted, 3 years? I don't know.
Which one?
Duranguense.
I literally don't know what Duranguense is.
It was popping for a little while.
That was like 10 minutes. It was like Tribal. That lasted like 15 minutes. And it was gone.
Tribal is still going hard. What are you talking about? I love Tribal.
I mean, but it's not as mainstream. I mean, it still lives in,
in the quinceañera bubble.
No, it lives on like an underground culture, like, regional places.
The quinceañera culture.
No, quinceañera, I think they always play the same music all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna put new shit into a quinceañera.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so the underground stuff, they still have it. But as far as mainstream, it dies out. I think like most music, like mainstream music, it just picks what's the most popular. Even reggaeton died for a time. Remember?
It did.
And it came back.
Bad Bunny and Ozuna and those guys came back.
Yeah.
And brought it back.
Luma brought it back and all that. They reinvented because it was the new reggaeton compared to the old. They have a different style.
Oh, super different.
So that's why you gotta always reinvent the music or it just dies.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I don't listen to any new Spanish music that isn't reggaeton right now.
I hardly listen to reggaeton now.
Right? I think I'm getting to that age where I'm like, oh, what Spanish music do you listen to genre-wise? What's my palette? What is it like? Fucking Maná, right? Los Ángeles Azules. And
Yeah.
And then
But you know what? It's your stations. Cause like I'm over here now, right? And they play a hell of a lot of salsa. Like I'm back in the salsa right now. Like I drive, and then like they play a lot of the like Caribbean music, salsa, merengue, and bachata. So it's a little bit different. Like when I was in Dallas, that's how you hear on the radio stations. But over here, it's different. They don't have the same shit.
Yeah, it's a regional thing. Definitely. And even like salsa though, like how much new salsa is out there? Salsa's still
a bunch of new salsa.
Think so? Mainstream.
But we're not
Anthony.
It depends who you're exposed to, right?
We're not exposed to it. Like I've been here for like 2 weeks, and I've heard like 7 new songs. I didn't even know what the fuck were they were.
But look them up. See what year they were made.
They're hits.
They're probably like new to you.
Were they new?
But are they new?
Yeah.
Music.
They're probably.
That's what I'm saying.
They have one Mexican station.
Yeah. Well, that's not surprised they even have one. But
we have 3 here.
4 at least.
No, you got like 7, bro.
Yeah.
You got 7.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah. But I'm saying, listen to the music. Like, and it might be new to you, but when was it actually made?
I might check it out.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of new salsa because usually they play a lot of popular songs. Salsa kind of falls in the same thing. They have so many of these popular songs that they just kind of play the same music. But there are some that come out, and it's pretty cool.
Can you even tell the difference between old salsa and new salsa?
Yeah. Kind of.
I mean,
really.
that's a different rhythm.
The new salsa, all Mark Anthony. The old salsa, Oscar de Leon. That's it.
No, there's a lot of variants. If you actually listen to salsa, it's like anything though. Like back in the day when I didn't know much about salsa and merengue, I couldn't even tell them apart. But once you listen deeply into the music, you can hear the subtleties. It's like even people that don't listen to Mexican music, I'm sure Panda, Norteña, Tejano, they all sound the same to them. Mm-hmm. So it just depends, what you're into.
Well, I think like the old salsa was like big band salsa.
That's dancing music, That's what it is.
Now I don't see the big bands no more,
Yeah, like Adolescentes Orchestra and all that. I saw them a couple times, but yeah, they're not big concert, people drawing kind of music now. So it depends. Maybe in different countries and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, so Tejano basically dead. Except San Antonio kept it alive.
I want to say
San Antonio regional music I think is still popular, but as far as like mainstream, it's dead.
Would I be fucked up if I said, hey, if you Googled is Tejano dead, they probably already had a funeral for it. And we're just late to the game, bro.
We're late. We're very late. All right, let's move on here. What's next?
So the next one, Trump, man. What do you think about Trump? You think he's trying to get reelected so he stays out of trouble, or stays out of jail? But like, what would send Trump to jail? I know some people talk about that. I mean, he has a lot of things, right? Even with that guy Jeffrey Epstein.
I think Ghislaine, I don't know how to say her name, but
yeah, and he was like backing her up, right? And he was basically bringing little girls.
He said about her, she's a very fine person. She's all right.
Yeah,
she's okay. But then he calls a guy kneeling during the anthem a son of a bitch.
Yeah, like what's the contradiction?
So she has shit on Trump, and I think if he doesn't get reelected, when he's got that month left, he's gonna pardon her, and he's gonna fucking skedaddle out of there, man. But if he gets reelected, man, then that means he's got some killers on his payroll, and then she's gonna die, or she's gonna get suicided. That's the saying right now.
Yeah, suicided. Yeah.
But yeah, he's basically R. Kelly in that interview. He's running for his fucking life right now, man.
He is, bro. I had to admit, like I think compared to Creepy Sleepy Joe, he's a better option as far as like for president.
Really? You think Trump is better than Biden?
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Okay, expand on that. Why?
Look at Biden. He's been a pretty much a career lawman. He hasn't really done anything. He has his own issues with harassment and with younger women himself. He's already almost 80 years old. And I think with the current format that was going on, I think Trump is more willing to take the unpopular vote to do what may be right versus somebody like Biden, who I think is more likely going to be guided by money. Which Trump is too, but I think he's going to be a little bit more careful, and we're not going to be able to see the true self about who he is. Like Trump, we know who he is. You know what he's about.
Well, I have to go opposite on that, because first Biden, he's okay. He's been a career politician, but he was one of the first in the 70s to do anything for climate change, and he was the one pushing for that, like to find out what's going on. In the 90s, he pushed a law that actually made it women able to actually have more rights to fight against sexual harassment. And I think he's always been creepy too with that little touching women and stuff like that. I never had a good vibe for him. I was for Sanders, but he actually pushed for these regulations that actually did some good, and it helped a lot of women. And that's what they're saying when his sexual harassment, well, they should have the same rights. That's what he's been pushing since the 90s. And then Biden also, he wants to raise taxes, which showed because Trump has been cutting taxes, and where he's been interviewed and they said, hey, he talked to all these guys for Mar-a-Lago and all that. Say, hey, I just made y'all a lot of money. And he's trying to raise them, and they're saying we all need to raise these taxes because he's putting into this great deficit.
All right, so I'm gonna throw one at you, Eric. Real quick. Did you know that it was Barack Obama and Biden who okayed the use of cages for kids and immigration? It wasn't Trump. That was already said. He was okay with it. No, I'm saying, but just to let you know, he was part of that deal. Like the whole cage thing that everyone thought on Trump, that he's the one that started it, which is incorrect.
So you're telling me
something that happened under the Obama and Biden administration.
All right, the counterpoint. All right, so the separation of families at the border, right? Because kids aren't.
No, the use of cages.
They're not cages.
Yeah, they did that. So
they're just being detained, but they're separating families, right? The separation of families started with Trump. All right, sure, yeah. Obama did a lot of. He deported.
Yeah, he deported more people
than any other president.
We're not saying he's not the greatest, but as far as better,
he was not doing the separation of families. He kept family units together, right? And then you come in as a family, you get fucking deported as family. Yeah. Cool, man. Right. But see, these kids, they're not getting separated. Fuck, dude. That's on Trump. He's the one saying, hey, if you're going to come into this country, we're going to separate you from your kid, and your kid's going to get, I don't know, maybe sold into that Democratic fucking pedophile ring. I don't know.
Which Biden's a part of.
Right.
But what has Trump done really to help anything? He inherited an economy it was already in progression of 6 years, rising the whole time, and he just kind of rode it all the way.
Counterpoint: what did Trump do for America?
Yeah,
I can't think of anything right now. I haven't researched yet.
What has Trump done really to improve things?
Right.
Other than to create more division.
I mean, but the division always been there. How can you say that it's been any different for any other president?
I mean, it's been,
that's
but it's been
that's been
mainstream.
going on for years.
It's been
I mean,
mainstream.
division as far as like race and.
But what has he done to make
just
positive?
along the lines of like division of lines and even financial status? It's always been there.
But
Just
like,
think about it. Like the way they cut up districts, the way people are reelected, the way things are being done. That's always been going on. There's no different than what it was before. The only difference is that Trump doesn't really care. He keeps doing what he's doing.
But like, what has he done to help? Well, what will he do to help?
He promised me a wall.
Yeah, and he didn't get
But
rid of the wall.
that's no different than anybody from before him. Like, what has anybody else done to make it better?
Well,
Obama took us out of the recession.
To make it better.
Obama gave me health care.
Obama took us out of recession.
No. He penalized you for not having health care. No, it's totally different.
Well, it's
totally
because
different.
you need to pay, man. Like, to help
you know
society, everybody has to put something in.
I didn't know
to
I
make-
needed health care.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
No, because it's still like if you can still pay a some amount of if you didn't have you're broke and you have no job, you still under the Obamacare you still have to pay for not having health coverage.
I don't. Yeah, but they take it.
I
out
mean,
of
it's
your
not a
tax.
perfect system.
You may get some.
But how has Trump? He's had almost 4 years. How has Trump improved that?
By getting rid of it? Like you're no longer penalized for it. As of this year, you're no longer penalized for not having health insurance. To where before you were penalized $200 to $400 a fucking month.
Yeah, but then because of that, you were actually insured. You had some
Yeah,
insurance.
it was an incentive for people.
No, you weren't. You had insurance, but you still had to pay deductible. You still had to go ahead and like pay all these fees. There was no difference because you get some tax breaks, but you were still accountable for paying your medical bills.
It kind of. I think Obamacare was basically just a fucking flashlight, and it showed how America really needs universal health care because nobody could afford it if you're gonna be fucking paying for it.
Yeah, you still can't afford it. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, it showed a flashlight of what we needed, but it didn't set up a good plan for people to actually.
We talked about that on the last podcast though, about like it's not just insurance; it's like the whole medical system that really needs to be looked at and the root problems of it.
It highlighted.
Yeah, so don't give them credit for what they didn't do because as far as it goes, if you're broke and you can't afford healthcare, now you're being penalized for not having healthcare.
But here's
and
the
if
thing.
you do have it,
But
I mean,
then
you're paying for like shitty insurance in your car, like Amador insurance. You're paying $30 to not be covered just so you don't get a ticket.
But you acting like he didn't try to do like universal healthcare where you don't pay anything. All you do is just pay a little bit more on that Medicare on your check.
Same with any other president, bro. He was just getting lobbied to go ahead and
basically,
make sure that then all these other fucking agencies for like the medical field are getting paid for a lot of money for something like that.
Yeah, the medical
for.
field was lobbying the Republicans to fucking fuck with Obama on that Obamacare.
Everything you try to do, there were always contradiction. Even if it was like something bipartisan, it's like, hey, Obama's doing it.
Look! That bill that Obamacare passed on a technicality. It shouldn't have passed. It's not even fucking constitutional because the way they did it is something about along like taxable something. I forgot what it was, but that shouldn't even be allowed. It's not even constitutional to have that on fucking Obamacare.
I mean,
because I had to pay for not having insurance for like 3 months, and it's a bitch. I had to pay tax or something that why should I have to pay for that shit? It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, because it's not a perfect system. But like, what does Trump replace it with?
The Constitution.
You just give it to what it was. Like, okay, someone came up with a bad system. It was passed. So now let's just get rid of it. So that's what he did.
But it's the law. Why don't you just follow the law?
I did. I pay my fucking taxes.
And now you're bitching about it.
I mean, really, when I didn't have like I had to pay for that same thing too, and it wasn't really that much.
You gonna go on the streets? You gonna go in the streets? You got grievances?
It's because you got to think like. Well, like even like because like my wife didn't have insurance, so we had a penalty, but it really didn't affect the taxes that much.
Honestly, I just always signed up for my work healthcare.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a system. It's like a starting point. It wasn't perfect. And it had a lot of flaws, but it was a start to try to help people that actually need medical, man. But like I'm telling you, it's just part of the solution. Really, you need to find the medical, and that's a whole. We talked about it last time.
This discussion has been going on since forever because right now I'm taking U.S. government. And whenever the U.S. Constitution was proposed to the fucking colonists that just got done fighting the Revolutionary War, they're like, do you want to have a federalist government or do you want to fucking have a small federalist government? You know what I mean? Like, there was a federalist and an anti-federalist. And it turns out that the Constitution, right, which supports a strong central government that figures everything out for the people, right, got ratified on a technicality. Turns out all the people that didn't like fucking with the government, they didn't vote. They didn't vote. They didn't do this. A lot of them, they just didn't want to deal with them. They're known as libertarians, right? Libertarians don't fucking small government, less government. And so these motherfuckers, they didn't send any delegates to the ratification conventions. And so the Constitution got ratified because the only people that voted were the people that were like on the East Coast, which were all the wealthy people.
Yeah.
And they wanted a strong central government. So that's been going on since for fucking ever, man.
Now it's the opposite. Now
and it still does. And because the government is split up into 3 different things, it's like it's a constant battle for actually just a compromise. And then Roy reached compromise because it's 3 different things they have to agree on a specific law and or whatever or bill of laws. Well, so it's very difficult to get to.
And that's actually helped us a lot because what Trump wanted to do, some of the things that he's wanted to push is like that's why he got blocked.
Yeah, it's called the 3/4 or
3 legislative, congressional.
Yeah, it's on the Senate, I think.
The majority, right? Yeah. So like it's 3/5 or 3/4 of the Senate has to do it.
And I mean, Trump really wants an authoritarian government, right?
He just wants to do shit without the fucking Congress.
Like,
what, dude? Come on, man. You can't be doing that. But
yeah, I mean, everybody got their opinion, but like, man, I don't see how.
Look at me wrong. Like, that dude's a crook, and he'll probably go to jail if he doesn't win, or he'll go to jail after.
Yeah, he's already talked about pardoning himself. He's wanted to pardon himself.
He might be able to. You never know.
No, yeah, that's crazy how fucking rich he's gotten off of being president.
But I mean, it really has that tax act.
But that's realistic, bro. Like every president out there has an agenda. They want to do well, but most of them are career politicians.
I mean, yeah, the politicians,
and then they're being lobbied. They get paid to do something for somebody else.
I'm not saying Biden's better. Like he's gonna be great for everybody, but it's like one of picking the less evil, man. It's just
I want a president that doesn't have a rich daddy.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just looking to like
George
cut taxes
Bush
for his rich buddies.
Rich daddy, right? Trump, rich daddy.
Even if you look at it like
the other George Bush, rich daddy.
Even look at like Reagan, right? When he cut taxes and it supposedly helped, well, it wasn't, right? And then by the time in the 90s when the economy was going down, and then there was the first George Bush, he wanted to raise taxes. Even though when he got elected, he was talking about still cutting taxes. But when he wanted to get reelected, he started talking about raising taxes, which went against his own Republican Party. And because he knew, hey man, this ain't working. We need to change something.
Yeah. And
he didn't get reelected. And then what happened when Bill Clinton came in? He raised taxes, and then the economy started building up.
Honestly, dude, something about like.
I mean, it's just not even like making them pay more; just making them pay the even like everybody else.
If a politician tells me, I'm gonna lower taxes, I don't even know how that's gonna affect me. How much more taxes do I really pay?
Yeah, you don't someone that makes small income. It doesn't
make a difference.
It affects the people with
but
money.
It's something in my reptilian brain, right? Yeah. My fucking peasant ass, like, yeah, no more taxes. Yeah.
Even though that's hurting you in the long run.
Even though it's hurting me, because when you're saying you're cutting taxes, that means you're cutting my social security. You're cutting my fucking safety net. So I'm like, yeah, fuck taxes. I don't want to pay fucking taxes.
And even say like Trump did great with the economy, right? We'll say, okay, he's great in the economy. Like, look how he handled the coronavirus and the COVID-19. Just didn't give a damn, man. Like, let's get a magic go away. Like,
don't even start on that, man. Because it's 1%, man. Like, it's 1%.
But look how it affected the economy. Look how it affected the economy. I mean, even with
survival of the fittest.
No,
if he would have had
it's not survival of the fittest.
The economy would have been okay. But no.
No, because then more people would have been dying.
We're killing all these small businesses. Like all these, like look around you, man. They shut down Midway. They're shutting down Midway. They took away the little car.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he's not a leader though. He saw I want to would you want him as your boss? As like say your direct boss, like hey, this guy, that kind of guy, that pretty much just looks out for himself, will do anything crooked, doesn't really care about you.
Aren't those most bosses?
Not all of them. Hey, I sucked it up for mine. Like, not I know what I'm saying, but would you pick them? Would you want to pick a person like that if you had a choice?
You think he's making the hard decisions for being unpopular, but he's actually being unpopular because he's making shitty decisions.
Yeah, he's just like whatever comes. And I gotta give him. Sometimes he makes good decisions, but a lot of them just come out of his ass. He doesn't prepare himself. He doesn't really study on the subject, and he can't. Right, so like it can't like always be bad. So he's gonna do some good things.
Okay, so let me put it back on you then.
Okay.
Give me some policies, some laws that he's passed that have been negatively affected the country besides the coronavirus.
Oh, the tax reform.
I got something. I like Trump on his stance on China, right?
The tariffs. Actually, that I kind of like that he raised the tariffs.
I don't like all the shit.
No. I don't want to hear the positive. I want to hear the negative side. Like what laws has he passed that negatively affected?
Well, yeah, that was the tax reform.
Oh, that's negatively affected me?
Yeah.
No, in general. Like, you were saying that he's a horrible president and a horrible leader. What has he done as far as like passing laws that have really been negative for the country?
The tax reform?
How?
For the country?
Yeah, because it's raised the deficit. He's raised the deficit ever since he's came in. It's like
yeah, man. He gave tax cuts to the rich, which didn't need tax cuts, which didn't allow. He gave the tax cuts to corporations, and then like Walmart was like, "Hey, we got so many tax cuts that we're gonna give our employees a little bit of money." Man, that ain't shit. You know what I mean?
That trickle down economics doesn't work.
He was doing trickle down economics in his first fucking second year, and then it didn't fucking work. We were all supposed to be getting checks from our companies that we worked from, but they didn't give a shit really. I mean, come on. And then he did that, and then he started fucking with like China and shit, which was kind of fun.
And then
so you only have one example.
The Muslim ban that he did, and then
Muslim ban, yeah.
And then all the
immigration, the caravan. Where's all the fucking los caravanistas that were gonna come and destroy?
And then not only that, then like
they got deported. They went back. Los ladies frijoles went back.
No. Hey, that lady the frijoles. She was being abused by her boyfriend, and then she fucking threw a hot pan of frijoles in his face, and that's why she got sent back. She stood up for herself.
Make it as shit as you go along.
Here's one that I one thing that Trump did, right, that I like is he started separating families, right, and he did the Muslim ban. Man, I fucking had it. What was it? Son of a bitch.
Man, I gotta remember.
You should have told me that you were gonna be fucking doing this. I would have wrote it down.
Yeah. What has he done? What are the positive ones that he's done? What are the positives?
You're looking.
No, I'm waiting for him. Did you say about that he hasn't done anything? All this negative stuff. So I'm trying to hear like some of the things that he's done that they're so negative that.
And not only that, because you know what affects you mostly is your local government, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as a leader of the country, one of their jobs is to be a leader, right? To be a good leader and unite the country. Could you agree on that?
Yeah.
And then when things go bad, like try to figure out how to bring the country together and do things the right way. Listen to your experts, right?
Yeah.
Does he really do that?
Well, what he has done, he has increased our infrastructure. He has better infrastructure for the United States.
Decrease our infrastructure.
A lot better for as far as our army, not our army, but our
military,
our defense.
No, like that's one of the things that he's trying to raise the military budget, right? Which I think is a waste. We have the biggest army military in the world, so like who are we really competing against?
Yeah.
And then he's cutting Social Security. Like he's trying to cut.
He's put $1 trillion in infrastructure for the country.
That's what he was voting. That's what is needed.
Bridges, like all the other stuff.
And you know what? And that's one of the things I like. But he hasn't put it. He's taken so long to do it.
Are you telling me that's why I'm late to work because fucking traffic?
But now look, he's tried to increase the budget right for the military, and then he's decreased budgets for like CDC. Even that virus protection agency that was supposed to help us with this kind of outbreaks, he cut that department. He's trying to cut down the welfare departments and all that. And then plus he took money.
FEMA.
He fucked FEMA, and plus he took money from the military that would have helped like some military schools. They were having like mold issues and they were having like problems in building infrastructure. He took that money out because he couldn't find somewhere else to like, get money for the wall.
You know,
and the wall that ain't even being built is being built in like areas that doesn't even need a wall. This freaking terrain so hard that no one really goes in through that area. So he's done that. But, so I mean, infrastructure need investment in infrastructure,
you know
and that's what he said.
Yeah, and he put a lot of money
nasty a
into
building.
But like, what has he done else? Like, really to help
You know how
everybody?
nasty a building has to be in the army for the army to say, okay, we need money to replace it. It has to fucking like there's a
And he took money from that.
There is a building in my fucking station, right? Fort Bragg, and the dudes were growing weed in it. That's how fucking hood this shit was, right? Nobody would go in it. Like, dudes were growing weed in the motherfucker. They were doing all kinds of shit. Just bad, raping, all that stuff. It was like a little fucking ghetto, like a micro ghetto in there. And
you think the military has all his money? Why?
He took it. He took it.
He took it for that. Like, in this, what I'm talking about, he took it from a military. You know, like people that have a station, that have their kids, they have a school.
Oh,
that was for the kids to build. Like they said, we'll figure it out later. We need this money right now. It's an emergency. But he's saying the wall is a national. What is it?
It's a national emergency.
A national emergency. So they took the money for kids'
La
school.
Frivolera was a
for
national
kids' school
emergency.
to try to put money for the wall. So that's not a leader to me, man. That's a
no, man. He isn't trying to unite us. He's trying to divide us.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like he's running the country more like a businessman more than he is.
Nah, a bad businessman. He's like, I mean, at first I thought he was like an evil genius, maybe he's doing things, but now I think he's just stupid.
Honestly, you can't run a country
Because you know what you think? That's what the media is feeding you. That's what they're
What
feeding
media?
you.
I don't even listen to media. I don't have social media.
From CNN and from Facebook and Instagram.
No, I don't have that. You know I don't have social media.
It's like anything else that happens. You just get
I read the articles that they have like.
a specific way.
Dude, you just gotta look at
Can you agree with this? Would you think Trump is narcissist?
Yeah,
Would you think he's sexist?
definitely.
Would you think he's racist?
Yeah.
Bro, here's the thing. You can't run
But okay,
a
but
country.
you're telling me like all the other presidents aren't?
But at least they try to cover it up. At least have some decency.
Exactly. But that's the good thing about him. He doesn't cover it up. You know what?
Yeah, you don't cover it up, so he makes it worse for other people.
Who are constantly faking and putting a mask over themselves.
Well, Biden, at least he's done support.
Oh my God.
He's done social like justice when he was earlier, and he's done so he has a little bit more lenient, even though he's kind of creepy with women. He's better. At least he has something.
Trump is the type to not put the shopping cart back.
We're talking about, our boy. What's the guy that got shot? The Irish guy. What's his name? The one that got shot in Dallas.
The Irish guy?
Yeah. What's his name?
There is no.
The one that was with Marilyn Monroe.
JFK?
JFK. I mean, like, some of these guys were womanizers and like.
Oh yeah, he's a womanizer.
Yeah.
I didn't say womanizer. I said narcissist, sexist, and racist.
Most presidents are. To be at the top of that level, bro, you gotta be like one cocky motherfucker.
Hey, man.
To be able to know that you're the
Just
shit.
because
But you have to have some boundaries.
Just
I'm saying
because
have
they
some
were doesn't mean it's okay for.
It doesn't mean that we have to keep supporting that.
Yeah.
That's why we need a movement to like.
People
try to change
change.
that.
Like people used to also fucking like.
It's 2020, man. It's like
not allow black people to vote, but hey, we changed, and then you know what they call those people? Radicals,
revolutionists.
Radical.
We gotta stop supporting that kind of shit.
MLK's a communist. Oh,
So
MLK.
who are the better options? Like Biden is a better option? Really? Come on.
I mean, for now it
He's a
is.
better option.
For now it is.
How is he a better option?
I already explained it to you. He's already gone for
because of the green. Oh, give me a break.
No, and for sexual harassment from women.
One green thing.
It's sexual harassment.
Women, and he's over there caressing, little.
He's getting a little shoulder rub.
Bro.
He has a
But he's
career.
done it. But he's passed laws that help women. He's passed things.
Pedophiling, man. Come on now.
He has a political career that spanned over 30 years, dude. Trump.
40 years. 40 years.
40. Exactly.
You don't pick celebrities for
Trump,
presidents. That's what
Trump
we do.
barely has 4. And you know what he just said? He said, you should vote. I should get reelected because now I have experience.
He's an idiot.
Right.
That's why I don't
That's
like
where it
him.
works.
That's
the way it
so
works.
stupid.
All right,
that's
let's
enough,
move
that's
on.
enough.
Let's move on.
All right, that took longer than we thought. All right, let's do the sip it or spill it. All right, move on to because politics are always too crazy.
I like politics.
Sip it or spill it. What do you think about strippers? I'll go with the remote.
Now, I'll step. I use the restroom real quick. I'll right back.
Oh, man. All right, you go.
Okay, well, hey, strippers. It's just basically an in-person form of OnlyFans. And if for the people that don't know what OnlyFans is,
Is that a sports thing?
okay, now let me tell you what OnlyFans is. It's not about sports. Maybe water sports if you're into that. Okay, so OnlyFans is a thing that allows you to pretty much to give money to a person on social media, and then they are able to show you things like their butt and butthole. Cool, right? OnlyFans, right? So only you get to see this.
So you gotta pay to like see them, or what?
Pretty much what we're doing with Eddie over there, right? We're video chatting, but let's just say he says, "Hey, we're his fans."
Oh, okay.
We're his fans. We want to see Eddie's butthole, right? So we send him money on OnlyFans. Ching, he gets it in his bank account, and then he just, boom.
And ain't that like the, what do you call those
strippers?
No, the webcam things.
Yeah.
Chatterbait.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what strippers are.
So that's OnlyFans, kind of like.
That's what strippers are. That's like the old west.
So this like virtual.
Yeah, strippers are OnlyFans, but in real life.
Oh, okay. So strippers are just in person, right?
Strippers are just.
So
in
do you
person.
sip it or spill it?
Oh, sip it. I am always gonna sip sex workers because that's just
the oldest profession.
I'm not gonna knock away for people to fucking earn their own living. Yeah. I don't care how you do it. If you do it, that's it. Hey, man, that's how you want to support your kids, fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Just don't fucking judge me on how many girls I've gotten to get abortions.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. What about you, man? Shit.
Man, I'm gonna sip it, bro. Like I'm the same way. Like I can tell you, I've probably been to strip clubs less than 10 times in my life. I've probably only been there for like maybe some bachelor parties and a couple of other main events. I'm not big into the strip clubs, but I do believe that if that's the way you want to spend your money and that's the way you want to make your money, then hey, you're up for it, bro. But I think live entertainment should still stay live.
Yeah. I guess I'll sip it too. Like I've been to strip club maybe 5-6 times in my life. Yeah. So, but I'm not for me. But I can see where at least at the strip club it's probably safer for women. Like than like prostitution and doing stuff on the streets and all that.
Yeah.
Like even that what do you OnlyFans? That's probably safer. So like
even super safe. You don't get COVID.
Yeah. So like you don't even get touched. So I mean that in itself is probably safer for them. They want to do that as long as it's safe, and I guess if pay your taxes, then you're good.
Right, pay your taxes, women. Oh my God, hey, I heard girls that haven't paid their taxes on OnlyFans, and then they're getting fucking letters from the IRS. They're like,
shit.
bitch, we want our cut. That is like the nation's pimp right there. Where's my cut?
Yeah. All right, next one. Sip or spill it. What do you think of public transit systems?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go for something else. Public trans. Okay, which I am still in favor for. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. Public trans. I like using public transportations because if I have the options to actually take a streetcar, right, take a trolley, take a little train, it's a little adventure. If I have the time and I'm not constrained, it's fucking pretty cool, man. You know, you get to see the homeless. You get to smell the homeless.
You can just chill.
But you could chill, listen to your headphones and stuff, listen to your music, and I like public transportation because honestly, it's a really interesting way to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. How are you, Eddie?
Man, I was gonna say it too, man. I think that Uber and Lyft are.
Well, that's not the public. That's the private.
No. But what I'm saying, I think Uber and Lyft exist because a lot of cities don't do public transportation right.
Oh, okay.
Cities like LA.
He had me in the first one.
Do it right. You can get like anywhere within 15 minutes. You get your bus, you get your train, you can go anywhere within a large radius of mileage. To where cities like Dallas and probably a little of our small cities, there's a lot of infight between like the smaller cities. You can't go to Irving because they have a different system. You can't go to Fort Worth because they have a different system. And it causes where people with lower funds are unable to get to and from work because they have to go and transport and do a lot of, you got to travel a lot more than you would under normal circumstances. And that's where you got to pay a higher fee like a Lyft or a Uber, where I think if it was more collected, done better, you probably wouldn't have that issue. You're able to get around more at a lot cheaper price.
Yeah, you're right. I'll sip it. And like I'm exactly with you, man, because I think it's just the infrastructure of the public system doesn't work, especially like in the U.S., like in big cities. Like some cities are doing it right, but like especially like in Dallas, like it's like you have to wait a long time before you catch a bus, and it's 106 degrees outside. You don't want to stand out there in the sun waiting for a bus to come, but if you got no other way to go, you have to use it. And if they had a better system. The DART train is getting better, where they got to do a train all the way to Houston eventually, and then there's like, but even you have to do a connected train to go to Fort Worth.
I want Japanese bullet trains.
Yeah, if you want to start do that, like man, it'd be great. And then if they have the bus system better, even in Mexico, I think they have it better, where they have a little guy in a van drives around and just picks up people.
Like Combi. I always talk about
They don't even stop. You gotta run.
Yeah, you gotta run, jump in. You're like in the stuck, but like it's a more efficient system than what you have in the US. If you're a chick, you're getting all filled up and stuff, but like...
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, that's probably in the subways too, in New York, but I don't know. But like, if you have a better system, like in Europe, where they have a good public transportation system, and like some other countries, then man, that'd be great. But
I wish they created some sort of transportation towards a Cowboy Stadium, man.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I fucking hate parking. I have to
like they have it the way they have it in the AAC.
I literally only keep friends in Arlington so I can park at their house to go to the fucking games. I'm like,
no, but it's true. Like like it's like going to the fair or going to Mavericks game. It's easy, right?
It's easy, man. You go to the fair,
hop on a bus, go downtown.
You go on the DART,
go to Arlington, Irving, Denton. Like Denton has a really great downtown area, but you can't really get up there.
Yeah, and then the parking sucks.
UNT's fucking dope, and the little bars around there are fucking nice.
Yeah, if they had a DART train, it would go there.
It's a great culture, but you have to drive, and then not only that, you have to drive over a stupid lake and the fucking highway. The highway sucks. But
imagine, and they could drink and come back on the train.
UNT has like a really cool young population, man. Yeah. If you haven't been
there,
the whole area is great, but I'm definitely sipping on public transportation, but it needs to grow.
Yeah, it needs to get better.
It needs to be more connected because
and it's good for the environment.
It is, man.
Because it has pollution.
Dude, I just paid off my car, and I think the dealership's about to flip that switch from still working to not working. You know, it's because that's what they do. You pay your car off, here, fuck you.
Well, what happens if you got to go to work and you get a flat, your car doesn't start? You're like stuck. You got to find somebody else.
Well, if there's I got a flat, I just changed the tire.
Well, I mean, if you don't have a spare, like non-new cars don't have freaking spares no more. That's another issue.
That's true, bro. That's true. It'll work. It's okay. It's not that bad.
Yeah, if you had a public transportation, well, just take the train or whatever to work. Then you'd be like, no big deal.
No big deal. I'm just gonna be late.
You'll be late. Hey, I'm gonna be late. Whatever.
But okay, man. At least I'll be there to do what I
gotta do.
Yeah.
All right, last one. All right, so one of our compadres ain't here today, but he says he's sick. And is Tony really sick? Is Tony really sick?
Nah.
I'll spit it, bro. I think that fool lying. I think that fool, why you always lying? I don't know why, man. I don't think I think bullshit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I'm going to go the same way. I think he's lying. He's like, hey, man. I mean, he might be sick. But, I mean, we would say, hey, you can remote in. I was like, so, like, what? Well, he's probably out there somewhere partying or something, and he doesn't want us to see his video. We try to call him, and no answer.
No answer.
I mean, we can say, hey, man, we just say, hey, I hope you feel better.
What, you don't have no makeup on? That's why you didn't answer?
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What's up? I'm spilling it.
I'm spilling his excuse of he's sick, too. You know, I'm sick of his fucking lies.
Right
there, man. He said on the text message, yo, I went from you know how I had rain the other day, and then I had to get out of my car and then walk to my house. I got wet. I mean, like, the only thing that's wet, is that
Wet.
wet ass pussy. That's what I'm saying.
It only sprinkled last week. Like, come on, bro.
It really didn't rain, man.
Yeah,
come on. So,
And then, like, because earlier, like a couple weeks ago, we went through a little coronavirus issue, whatever, right?
we did have a coronavirus scare.
So we
within
all
the
like
group.
we did like quarantine and all that, and we all got tested, and he came out negative. We all came out negative, luckily. And now all of a sudden, now he's sick. I was like, well,
Hey, did anybody else come out positive? Because Tony's sister was literally talking into somebody else's mouth that night.
I know it's amazing. No one else came out. Well, we all waited a few days and then took the test.
Yeah.
And then everybody came out negative. So.
I don't know, but wasn't like your wife and Tony's wife sick all week?
Yeah.
She got sick, but I think they had a phantom cold. As soon as they didn't get sick until they found out that day. All of a sudden, her throat was hurting and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, man, that was a phantom
It's
cold."
all mental, man.
And then, you know, last time too, Tony didn't come because he had to take care of his wife because she was so sick. And what do we see them a couple of days later? At Sunset Crab, partying
that's Sunday. That's Sunday there was Sunset Crab.
I thought y'all were sick. I was like,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to whap them too, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Man. Wireless access point.
Whap 'em
Can
too?
disconnect.
Oh, yeah.
Disconnect.
Yeah, I don't think that means that, but
I don't know.
yeah,
what it
for
means.
sure, man.
But it's all good. We still our brother over there.
Oh, guess who's? I don't know. Can you see that?
Oh, did she start it?
No.
No.
Your sister,
No.
man.
It's your sister.
No.
All right.
But
I'm
I think that's it for this week.
That's it. Oh,
So-
I got something to come. Man, I should have wrote it down.
Well, that's what you write it down before you start drinking.
That's what happens
Save it
when
for
you
next
get
week.
tested for COVID
All right, man. Hey,
3
we're gonna
times in
drink.
2 weeks. You get fucking
We're
poked
gonna
in the
drink.
brain.
There you go. All right, let's drink. Adios y hasta la próxima.
Stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe.
Peace.